For today's lesson, we're going to discuss direct variation. In direct variation, the student will determine whether direct variation exists given a graph, data set, or practical situation or equation, and also write a direct variation given a set of data or practical situations. All right. So a direct variation is a type of linear function with a constant and proportionality. All right. The equation looks like y is equal to kx, where k is both the slope and the constant of proportionality. So it looks similar to our equation, our slope-intercept equation, y equals mx plus b, except for with direct variation, it does not have the b. Okay? To express direct variation, we can say y varies directly as x, or y is directly proportional to x. So you will see word situations written that way, where it says y varies directly as x, or y is directly proportional to x. All right. In the table, you will see three different ways that we can represent direct variation. We can represent giving a graph. As you can see from the graph, it is a positive slope and the y-intercept is 0. Hence why we have the equation y equals kx, and we don't have that plus b because our y-intercept is always 0 and our line is always increasing from left to right. In the equation, you see the constant of variation, which is our k. K is always a positive number. Even if you're looking at a proportional relationship between two negative numbers, remember a negative divided by negative is a positive. And then you can also look at it from a table of points. So dividing the y's and x's gives you the same positive number. So taking a closer look at the equation, we can see that if we want to solve for our k, we can always use the formula of y divided by x is equal to k. So if it ever asks us, hey, this y varies directly with x or is directly proportional to x, find the constant. We can find the constant by taking a y value and dividing it by the x value, and it gives you the constant. So it's very similar to slope. You have your change in y over your change in x, and it gives you your slope. In this situation, it gives us our constant, which is our k is slope and also the constant. Okay, so looking at number 1, it says, which equations are not examples of a direct variation? How do you know? All right, so if we take a look at this, we have a is y equals negative 7 over 3x plus 1. Well, we already know that our y-intercept is 0, so a is not an example of a direct variation. All right. B, we have y is equal to 5 over 16x. That is a direct variation. C is also a direct variation. D is not direct variation because we have a negative 9. So remember, k is always positive because remember, even if you're looking at a relationship between two negative numbers, you still get a positive number. If you look at a relationship between two positive numbers, you still get a positive number. All right. Let's take a look at number 2. And of course it says hint use Desmos, but we're not going to worry about using Desmos because we can actually solve these by hand. So it says, which two equations are examples of a direct variation? All right, so let's take a look at A. Remember, our equation for a direct variation is y is equal to kx, where k represents our slope and our constant, okay? So A is an example of a direct variation, and we know because we have our k is equal to 1. All right. For B, let's solve this one out. Let's solve it for y to see if we get a direct variation. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And I get 3y is equal to negative 2x. Divide both sides by 3. Divide both sides by 3. And y is equal to negative 2 over 3x. Okay. So again, B looks like it is a direct variation, but the issue is it is negative, okay? So remember, our constant of proportionality, our k, is always a positive number, all right? For C, we have y is equal to 1/2 x, which is a direct variation. We can easily identify our constant k of 1/2. And for D, we have 5x plus 6y is equal to 30. So again, we have to solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. I get 6y is equal to 30 minus 5x. Divide both sides by 6. So each term on the on the right gets divided by 6. I get y is equal to 5 minus 5 over 6, which is not a direct variation. So we can look here and see that k is a direct variation. A is a direct variation. Our k is 1. So when we graph this, we start with the y at the origin, because remember, the graph of a direct variation always goes through the origin because its y-intercept is 0. And the same for C. When we graph, we can see that our y-intercept is 0. Number 3 says, which of the graphs below represent a direct variation? All right, so remember, direct variations always have a y-intercept of 0, so we're going to intercept the origin. We can clearly see that graph 1 does not intercept my origin. So remember, my origin is here where my x-axis and my y-axis meet. So we can see that graph 2 intercepts the y-axis, and it is a positive. So it is increasing from left to right. The first graph is also decreasing from left to right. So therefore, remember, our constant, our k, is always positive. So therefore, the second graph is a representation of a direct variation. All right, for number 5, it says, which of the following tables represents direct variation? So remember, we have the equation for direct variation as y is equal to kx. When given a table, we have to determine what that constant is. So we're giving x values and y values, and we have to determine what our constant is for it. So from there, to solve for k, we have y divided by x. So we take a y value divided by x, and it gives us our constant, okay? So let's take a look at the first one. We're going to pick an x value and a y value. So we have -8 divided by -4, which gives me 2. I have -4 divided by -2, which gives me 2. And I have 18 divided by 6, which gives me 3. So the first one is not a direct variation because remember, it has to have the same constant. And here we can see with the last table of values, you have 18 and 6. Okay, so A is not an example of a direct variation. Let's take a look at B. All right, so we have -4 divided by -5, which gives us 4 over 5. We have 10 divided by 2, which gives us 5. And then we have 5 divided by 4, which gives us 4 over 5. Again, our constants are changing because you go from 4 over 5 to 5 to 5 over 4. Okay, so B is not a direct variation because, again, the constants are not the same. All right, so let's take a look at C. So we have -12 divided by -3, which gives us 4. So we have 4 here. We have 24 divided by 6, which gives us 4. And 32 divided by 8, which gives us 4. Okay, so the only thing I did was I solved my equation for k, and I put my y values over my x values. So if we take a closer look at the last table, you can see when we have -12 divided by 3, that gives me 4. 24 divided by 6, which gives me 4. And 32 divided by 8, which gives me 4. So I have a constant of 4 for this table. If we take a closer look at B again, we get 4 over 5, -4 over 5, which gives me 4 over 5. 10 over 2, which gives me 5. And then 5 over 4, which just gives me 5 over 4. Okay, so it's no constant there. And then the same for the first table. You're putting -8 over -4, which gives you 2. -4 over -2, which gives you 2. But then you have 18 divided by 6, which gives you 3. So it's not a constant rate there. All right, so let's take a look at the table for number 6. Number 6 says Matthew earns $22.50 per hour for working at the gym. This situation can be described by completing the table. All right. So if he works 1 hour, he gets $22.50. All right. So we know that. Now, since we know that he gets $22.50 an hour, if he works 3 hours, we have to do $22.50 times 3, which gives us $67.50. Okay, when he works 7 hours, we have to do $22.50 times 7, which gives me $157.50. All right. Let's go ahead and jump to 16 since we already know we have to multiply that by $22.50, which gives me $360. Okay. Now we have to do the opposite. We have to work backwards. So they give us the dollar amount, and we have to look for the number of hours. So we can take 270 and divide it by 22.50, which that gives me 12 hours. And then 495 and divide that by 22.50, and that gives me 22 hours. Okay. So it says write an equation to represent the table. So you can see that the dollar amount he gets paid $22.50 per hour is being multiplied by each hour, and the hours represents X. Okay. So our Y, which is our dollars, is equal to, we have a constant of $22. So that is our constant for our direct variation, which is $22.50 X, where X represents the number of hours. So if you want to know how much he gets paid or how much he gets paid in dollars, you just multiply the $22.50 by how many hours he works. And it says, does this situation represent a direct variation? Why or why not? Okay, so in this situation, it does represent a direct variation. And it represents a direct variation because we have a constant of $22.50 for the table and for the values. When you take a look at it, if he works 0 hours, how much money does he get? He gets $0. Therefore, letting you know that we are starting at the origin. And remember, our y-intercept for our graph is always 0. So this does represent a direct variation, and that's because we do have a constant of proportionality, which is $22.50. All right. Now it is your turn for number 7. I'm giving you 3 different situations. So the first one, a green cab company charges a flat rate of $5.50 and an additional $1.20 per minute. Jordan runs 1 mile every 7 minutes. And it takes 4 painters 8 hours to paint a house, and 12 painters 6 hours to paint the same house. All right. So for the situations in A, B, and C, you are going to tell me if it represents, whether it represents a direct variation, and explain why or why it does not.